Hi guys, and welcome back to Crypto Chester. I'm here today to give you a Bitcoin update. We're going to be going through Bitcoin here on the short term, the mid-term, and the long-term, the macro. Just before we get going into the short term here for Bitcoin, I just want to say a massive shout out to the CC gang that are holding strong in the Telegram at this point in time. If you want to join the Telegram, guys, link is just above me on the right-hand side there. And also, massive shout out to Simon as well. It was nearly a 400% trade he won this week. Absolutely amazing stuff. But without further ado, let's get straight into the Bitcoin charts because there's some very, very interesting stuff that I do want to be covering here. Now, as you can see here on the micro time frame, guys, you can see we do have a very nice wedge, okay? Very nice wedge. This is a rising wedge, okay? Rising to the upside. This technically means rising wedges, they tend to usually break down, guys. So there is going to be a potential move to the downside if we lose a level of support around 27,426. There is other factors that I do want to factor into this, guys, and this is going to be on the macro time frame later on. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And don't just go off this short-term analysis right now because it's not going to be that reliable, okay? So what I would say here is this is going to be the measure move that we're going to be looking for, and that's going to be from the top side of the wedge to the bottom side of the wedge, depending on where we break, guys. The percentages that we're going to be looking for here, it's going to be worth around 3.76%. So it's definitely something to be looking out for there, guys. In terms of the price action channel, guys, which is made up of many, many moving averages here, kind of like the EMA ribbon, but a little bit more vast. You can see that we have actually seen two bullish candles opening outside of this price action channel. This usually means bullish momentum to the upside is going to continue, guys. So that's very positive news, and we could see, or we're probably going to see us staying inside of this this wedge pattern for now until we see the slam dunk down, which I will get into, and we will be referencing the micro time frames again because I do think we're going to be in this wedge for probably 3 or 4 days, I'd say. 3 or 4 days, I'd say, unless volume really takes a spike up, okay? So let's move on to a few more indicators for the micro quickly, because you can see here on the MACD, this is actually the volume weighted MACD. I found that a little bit more reliable. You can see that we have had a nice little crossover to the upside, and we are seeing bullish momentum coming through like that. So that's an indication that we are going to see a bit of a bullish trend continue to the upside. So the next point of resistance here for this wedge is going to be sat around 28,800. I do think that we will get rejected before that, and I will show you why and where on the midterm, which we are going to go through very, very shortly indeed. One thing I do want to cover is a hidden bullish divergence coming through on the short-term time frame, guys. This usually means continuation of the trend to the upside. And what do you know? What are we seeing at the moment? A nice uptrend. So probably going to have some more continuation to the upside. There's a lot of bullish signs saying that we're going to go up for the short term here. Moving on to the micro time frame, the midterm time frames, guys, because this is where it sort of really gets interesting. There's some really interesting factors here that I do want to talk about. Because we did touch on this last week briefly, and this was the falling parallel channel, which you can see here. You can see the resistance to the top side that we have tested multiple times. You can see we've recently tested that literally yesterday, here on the 4 hour, and we're just about to test it again, okay? This is where it gets interesting, guys, because if we can test this again and break it to the upside, there's going to be a lovely move, okay? Lovely move, which is going to be worth around 2.31%, okay? And in terms of a measure move for this, and I will get to the reason why that this is going to be worth 2.31%, because you're probably looking at that right now like, there's no resistance around that area, there's no measure move, what's going on, what's he done there? And I will show you, and it's going to be referencing the macro time frame. So just stay tuned for that right now, for the minute, for a sec, right? In terms of the measure move, guys, if we do see continuation, this is what we're going to be looking for. The measure move up is going to be something along the lines of this, and you know why we're here, but you know why we basically stagger our take profits all the way up, because there's a lot of chances of us getting rejected. Okay, so there's a 9% move to the upside here, but we're not going to be just going for 9%, guys. We're going to be waiting for that key candle body open around that 28,000 area, and then riding that wave up. The wave up that I'm talking about is going to be the measure move there, and you can see what we're doing. We're plotting in all of the areas of resistance that we have seen in previous price action, okay? So previous lower highs that have been forming, you can see these areas here. We've been slam dunked down many times from these areas, guys, okay? So this is definitely going to be a take profit if we are going to be longing Bitcoin for this 9%, okay? And obviously, somewhere near the top as well, there is a couple more levels to banging in there. And that's going to be the completion of our measure move around 9%. So that's sort of what we're going to be looking for this falling wedge, guys, because falling wedges tend to usually break to the upside. So that's definitely something to be looking out for there. I just want to talk about the support that we've got at the moment, right? The support that we've got at the moment is going to be, let me just get rid of all my drawings for a second. The support that we've got at the moment, guys, is going to be all of these major moving averages. Because you can see here, we've got very strong 200 EMA, the purple one there, and 200 SMA there, the white one there, that we are actually finding support on, okay? Very progressive. You can see we've got coiled up moving averages here as well. Coiled up moving averages, guys, tends to usually mean a big breakout in the price, and that's what we're sort of seeing here. We've seen a nice parabolic move to the upside, which was worth, this is going to bring my drawings back, but it was worth around 10% there, guys, and we're seeing a little micro pullback right now of around 3 or 4%, which is absolutely healthy. Okay, just to remind you guys, that's absolutely healthy. This is very nice price action here for Bitcoin if we are going to have the continuation to the upside. Remember, there's many areas to be looking out for there for the continuation. So overall, we're seeing many bullish signs coming into fruition here. Another bullish sign that I do want to tell you guys about is the DMI, the directional movement index, guys. You guys know I love this indicator. We've got the positive DMI crossing to the upside with the negative DMI crossing to the downside. This means bullish. I wouldn't really be that excited, but the movement of the ADX, which is this lovely little red line here, or red or pink, yeah, red or pink, whatever color it is, looks reddy pink to me. Yeah, we're seeing that currently sat at around 30.9. This means, guys, if the ADX, if the DMI ADX is high, above 25, above 20, these are the key levels. Above 25 is the real bullish sign there. This basically means that we are seeing continuation of that trend. The trend is strong. It's looking pretty goddamn good. Now, also, with that being said, I do just want to say on the RSI, on the 4-hour, guys, we are looking, well, we did get to the overbought scenario, so we have seen a bit of a crash down in the price there. But it's, as I said, it's a healthy pullback, guys. It's absolutely fine. It's a healthy pullback. The ideal scenario for this asset right now, if we are going to be getting into a lovely long, we want the RSI to come down a bit. And the only way that this can do that is for the price to consolidate in this area for a little bit longer. If it consolidates in this area for a little bit longer, we will see the RSI essentially, if it's going to work, we will see essentially the RSI coming right back down to that central zone. And then we can actually expect another move to the upside from there, because then we won't be overbought, right? Okay, so that's the midterm time frame done for Bitcoin. Let's jump to the macro, because this is where it gets very interesting, guys. And this is where I want to explain my 2.31%, and also why I think that we're going to be staying inside of this rising wedge on the micro time frames as well. Now, let's zoom right the way out here on the daily. Okay, let's zoom right the way out here on the daily, and let's go from all-time highs for Bitcoin around 69,000 there. You can see we've got a very strong trend line. Okay, we've got a very strong trend line coming down for Bitcoin. Let me just get rid of something, because it's not very appealing. Yeah, you can see we've got a very strong trend line. Here we go. From the top side of Bitcoin here, now coming down to this essentially lower high. Okay, it's a more realistic and more valuable lower high than we have seen on these sorts of levels here after that significant crash to the downside here for Bitcoin. Horrific dirty bear market scenarios here, still in a bear market, but we are seeing lower highs, less valuable lower highs, actually getting validated by this most recent uptrend for Bitcoin. Now, what does this mean? This means we still have got these very crucial areas to be getting over here, and we are currently testing these very crucial areas. And this is where I want us to be cautious. I want us to be very cautious with Bitcoin at the moment, guys, because we're in a very tricky place. The reasoning for this is, guys, as you can see from the all-time high of Bitcoin, we've got a very strong trend line coming down, which is still yet to be broken to the upside. We are still respecting that in terms of resistance. Have we had a major correction from this trend line just yet? No. Unfortunately, we haven't. We've had a bit of a move to the downside, but it's more consolidation between this sort of 25 and 30k sort of area. We haven't actually seen a big correction in the price, and this could even slam us all the way down to around $19,000, guys. I know it's ambitious, it's pretty crazy, but it's still good. And another thing for us to really be looking out for there And this is why I want to be even more cautious, guys, is because remember I was saying about the 2.31% here on the midterm. The reasoning for this is, guys, is because this is the trend line coming down from the all-time high. You can see how close we are to actually tapping that bad boy. Pretty close. So yes, we've seen a lovely little pump to the upside here, worth around 10% recently. But if we're going to be realistic, guys, we're due to have some sort of resistance, which is going to be worth, I mean, likelihood of us hitting it straight away is pretty unlikely. Continuation of the trend up to this 28,500, 600 sort of area is more likely, and that gives us around that 2.31, 2.62 sort of level to be looking out for there in terms of resistance for this trade. Now, if you wanted to go big guns, if you're a degenerate gambler and you really wanted to go for it, you could just be using this 2.62 as a take profit, okay? You could be using it as a take profit for this 9.06% position. If you were going to be using that, absolutely fine. Just remember to move your stop loss to your entry point once you've hit this take profit, because the likelihood of us actually holding this area and holding our own here and fighting the gladiator war and not getting slam dunked down back down to these 25 sort of levels again is pretty unlikely. Okay, we've seen this multiple times here, and you can actually see the momentum from this trend line is actually, it seems to be getting stronger, right? So before it was 12% to the downside, and let's have a look again. What did we see here from this area? Yeah, just a little bit stronger, 13.65% to the downside, okay? So who's to say that we're not going to get slammed down another 10 or 12%, which would be all the way down to around 25k, guys. We'll be all the way down to around 25k. So I just want you guys to be acting a little bit more cautiously here for this area for Bitcoin. I mean, if we break it to the upside and we break this disgusting, filthy trend line from the all-time high, then the target that we could be looking for is going to be a lot higher, okay? That's when we're talking about the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement, and that's going to be sat around 32,600. We've also got a very key level there at 31,000. If we can claim 30, guys, if we can claim 30,000, I'm going to be a very, very happy man, and we might see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel here for Bitcoin, and we will see this trend essentially continue, okay? If we get slam dunked down, if we do, I just want you guys to be prepared for this. If we do, then the area that I'm looking for a bounce, okay, there's a couple of areas here. We've obviously got a level of support coming through from here around 20,000. There is a very strong trend line coming down from the low of this bear market, I do believe. Yeah, the low of this bear market sat at around 15,000 there. The area for the trend line for us to hit here is going to be still, it's going to be around 21, 22, and that does sort of coincide with the 0.236 Fibonacci retracement, guys. So if we are going to see horrific dumps to the downside coming through something along the lines of that, and this is where we're bouncing off these 200 EMA and SMA there, you can see this is the area that I would expect another leg to the upside. And even if we do see us trend down like this, we will be creating a falling parallel channel. Very good stuff indeed. If that does happen, there is going to be a measure move up to around 28k yet again. So that's sort of a prediction of what could be happening here for Bitcoin if we don't break this very key area. I could circle it again and again and again. This is the most key area that we're looking for here, 28,681. If we can break that, guys, we're looking for a lovely bit of momentum to the upside, and confidence for Bitcoin will probably resume for the medium, for the short term. But for now, it is still you still need to be very, very cautious for this area here. That's going to be it from me, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. Just to reiterate, just to summarize quickly for you there, we are going to be seeing us basically stay inside of this wedge pattern. If we don't, we've got a lovely short to the downside. If we do break this falling parallel channel, we've got a lovely 2.31% move to the upside. If you are feeling greedy, if you are feeling degenerate, there is a 9% move there for this measure move. Not for me. I'm going to be staying out of that one. I do expect us to have serious resistance from 28,600. Thank you ever so much. Thank you ever so much, guys, for watching. Do appreciate it. Slap a like if you got some value here. Also, let me know your comments in the comment section, guys, because I'm keen to know what your opinions are on Bitcoin and what you think is going to be happening. But that's going to be it from me, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. Peace out and goodbye from me, Crypto Chester. Why is the outro not working? You know why we're here. We're here to make money. Cold, hard cash, baby.